Subject pronouns with other people and things. You already know the subject pronouns: I, we, you, he, she, it, and they. Pilar is a student. Pilar is from Chile. But sometimes we don't want to say Pilar, Pilar. Pilar is a student. She is from Chile. Pilar and Isabella are students. Pilar and Isabella are from Chile. Pilar and Isabella are students. They are from Chile. Let's talk about 3 rules for using subject pronouns. Rule number 1. Anything else and I, we use the subject pronoun we. So another person or people or thing or things and I is we. You and I, we. My mother and I, we. Your mother and I, we. Maria and I, we. The dog and I, we. Chris and Pat and the dog and I, we. The car and I, we. Rule number 2. You and anything except I, we use you. You and another person or people or thing or things is you. Now remember rule number 1. You and I is we. You and your cousin is you. You and my cousin, you. You and Yuri, you. You and the cat, you. You and Mr. Smith and the cat, you. You and the other students, you. Rule number 3. Everything else, another person or people or thing or things, we use he, she, it, or they. Mr. Smith, he. Mrs. Smith, she. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, they. Pat's book, it. Your book, it. Your books, they. Pat and the other students, they. So 3 rules. Number 1, anything, any person or thing and I, we use we. Rule number 2, you and anything or anyone except I is you. And number 3, other people or things, we use he, she, it, or they. Now it's your turn. Look at these and think about which subject pronoun we use. You can stop the video for a minute if you need more time to think. Anna and Lydia, Lydia and I, you and Anna, Lydia and her husband, Anna's apartment, your wife and children, the other students and I. Anna and Lydia is they. Lydia and I, we. You and Anna, you. Lydia and her husband, they. Anna's apartment, it. Your wife and children, you. The other students and I, we. So 3 rules. Number 1, anyone or anything and I is we. Number 2, you and anyone or anything except I is you. And number 3, anything else, other people or things, we use he, she, it, or they.